I guess I should say I am back. This is Asbury's Echoes, and my name is Rhonda, and this is my FlossTube. And it has been a long time, and I apologize for that. It looks like, according to my records, that the last time I was on here was in May 29th, and that would have been FlossTube number 36. So I guess that makes this one number 37. And it is September 25th. Life got in the way. We've had a lot of changes around here, good changes. Lots of things have come up, and we were just busy. So busy that I struggled getting anything accomplished. So things are slowing down, seems to be slowing down. And sorry, that's the cat. She's having some zoomies right now. I plan on doing this again, and I plan on being a little more a regular schedule. We are homeschooling, but Drew's 14, and he's a freshman this year, and he has chose to do an online homeschool program. So that is helping me out a lot. It's giving me some free time. I'm not so sure that I do like it, but I do miss spending that time with him in the mornings, because during the school day, during the school year, we would sit down every morning and do school together. And he's wandering around here, and he says he's going to be on the next FlossTube, so we're going to hold him to that. But he's now doing an online program, so hopefully that will give me a little bit of free time here too, to work on other things. Sorry, I'm chilly. It's kind of chilly around here today. It's a beautiful day. The sun is shining, beautiful October day. It's a little chilly, but that's okay. So I have been gone for so long, and I have many patterns that I have put in my shop, my Etsy shop, from then to now, and I don't want this to be long and drawn out. So I am just going to pull out a handful. And I also forgot, I have another one I forgot to pull out here. So I'm gonna have Drew pause this. All right, I'm back. Thanks, Drew. Where do I start? This means I was so honored to be asked to do this. There's a cross stitcher out there that I started following on Instagram, and then I started watching her floss tubes, and her name is Sarah, and she is the rocking chair stitcher, and I love her name. And she likes to stitch when she's sitting in her old rocking chairs, and I love that. And I keep thinking I'm gonna pull my rocking chair that I've got back in the bedroom, bring it out to the living room, and try stitching in the rocking chair and see if I enjoy that. I've always wanted the rocking chair out here anyway. So, but anyway, she is a young stitcher, and she's a designer, and her husband adopted a special needs child. And I've just enjoyed watching her story and seeing her little boy. He's the cutest little thing. And they are wanting to adopt again. And she asked me and some fellow stitchers or designers to design a pattern. Each of us design a pattern with the theme of family. And she's put it together into a booklet, and she's offering it on her Etsy shop. She's trying to do a fundraiser, make some money to offset the cost of adoption. It's a PDF booklet, and it's got some of the neatest, sweetest designs. And I just wanted to show, this is the design that I came up with for her. And it says, "The love of family makes life beautiful." My daughter has those words in her house. And so when I was asking her for ideas, she says, I think this would be a good saying. So I agreed, and this is what I came up with. And you can find this pattern at, I'm going to put this all down below, but Sarah's Etsy shop is called The Stitching Porch. And this, along with, I think there's 6 other designs, and they're all family themed, and every one of them is beautiful, and every one of them is different. And so if you're interested at all in helping Sarah out and her husband and her little boy so they can offset the cost of adopting another child, go and take a look at this, because it's an amazing booklet and they are amazing people. Watch their you should watch Sarah's FlossTube. She's under the Rocking Chair Stitcher on YouTube, and I was just honored to be asked to be a part of this this project. And I think she's going to do a stitch along. She wants to stitch every pattern in the booklet, and she's going to do a stitch along. I think she probably talks about that. I know she talks about it on Instagram. I haven't been able to sit down and watch any FlossTube here recently to see if she's on FlossTube with this yet. I think she might be. But if you wanted to stitch along, she's doing a stitch along, and I think that would be a lot of fun too. So that's the one thing I wanted to show. Head on over and check Sarah out. And then I'm just going to show a couple of autumn things that I have done here recently. I've done, this one was called Autumn Harvest. I put this one out a little while ago. And it's very simple. This one was done on the Nate Berkus upholstery linen. Still looking. If anybody has found anything that's even remotely similar to this, let me know. I am trying to find something that I can replace the Nate Berkus with. So this one was called Autumn Harvest. It's 36 count, and it's all DMC. And I dyed this one after I stitched it. And this has got a little pumpkin button. A little pumpkin button. My daughter makes the buttons, so they're also in the Etsy shop. We also have Indian corn, needle minders that would go along with this. Crows. Got a crow button. I think I'll show that one here soon. We've got white pumpkin, little white pumpkin buttons. Lots of buttons. Lots of fall themed things. So that's that one. And then I've got this one. And this one I named Crow on Pumpkins. I know I'm not wasn't very imaginative with that one. And this crow has a spider. I thought, I don't have a problem with spiders. I don't want them in the house, but I also don't freak over a spider. And I think that they're fun for fall and for Halloween. But there were some I know that were like, I like the pattern, but I really don't want to stitch a spider. So, and I should have brought it and I didn't, but if you order this pattern, you'll get the chart with the spider, and then you'll also get the chart with an acorn instead of a spider in the crow's mouth. Now another option also is you could hang, so this has got the crow button. That's what the little crow button looks like. But you could hang like the little pumpkin button. You wouldn't have to stitch, where is he? The spider. You could you could hang a crow button from that. You could hang, I didn't bring any of those. You could hang an acorn button from there. I guess you could hang a crow button if you wanted to hang a crow button. I'm trying to think of what else is in there. The acorn. Oh, the white pumpkin looks really nice on this one too, because it's got this colored pumpkin here. So you could hang the white, or just don't put anything. You wouldn't have to put anything on there. But this one's called Crow on Pumpkins. And again, it's that Nate Berkus fabric. And I also dyed this one. I dyed this one after I stitched it. So that's just a couple of the fall ones that I've got. And then I have this one. I just posted this one today. It's called Quiet Joys. And again, I can't see, his lights are so bright. What did I put this one on? I don't think this one's the Nate Berkus. I think this one is the Ale. Yes, the Ale Edinburgh. 36 count Ale Edinburgh linen. I did not dye this one, and it's all DMC. My cousin sent me a picture of an old stamped cross stitch that she had found at a store. What do you call it? An antique store, vintage. Might have been a thrift store. Anyway, it had a fireplace. And she says, I think you should design a fireplace because I would love what you came up with. So I never thought to design a fireplace before. So I sat down, and I don't have a fireplace. I've always wanted a fireplace, would love to have a fireplace. And this is what I'd want my fireplace to look like. The chairs and the, of course you have to have your sampler, and the clock came from my eldest son has moved back home for a while, and so that's been one of the life changes around here. Been a good change. But he has been helping our neighbor move. They're 80 years old and they're moving from the farm, and they were antique dealers, so they had lots and lots and lots of beautiful things, and they just had an auction, and my son has helped them with all through that whole process, getting things cleaned out and cleaned up and ready for the auction. And they had this clock that he was wanting so badly, and he was able to get it at the auction, so he was pretty excited about that. And that's where the clock came from, because that's what we were talking about and excited about at the time when I designed this. So that's where the clock is. That's why the clock is on there. A lot of my designs will have some kind of meaning behind it. So this one will be special because my cousin suggested it, and then the clock, Erin's clock, is on there. This one is called Quiet Joys, and I just put this one in the Etsy shop. And like I said, there's a lot of new patterns in the shop that I have designed and worked on and put in there between May and September. I'm not going to talk about them all, so I'll probably pull them out here and there as we get back into the groove here. But for today, I just want to keep it short. So I haven't had a lot of time to watch FlossTubes. Actually, I haven't. I've had very little time. But I did run across a FlossTube tuber. Her name is Jackie, and her FlossTube is called Comfort Stitching. I don't remember how I ran across her, except that she was working on a sampler, and she does a lot of the reproduction samplers, and they're absolutely gorgeous. Her stitching is beautiful. She does a lot of 40 count and even higher count than that. And she does a lot of changing the colors of the flosses. She's very interesting lady, very calming. I love to just listen to her. I put her on when I'm washing dishes, or no dishwasher here, I hand wash. When I'm doing things, and I put it on and just kind of listen to it in the background. But she made me really, really think, because we've had such a busy summer. We've had a lot of things change. And I told myself when I started this that if it became work, or if I didn't enjoy it, I wasn't going to do it anymore. And I wasn't there. It wasn't that I wasn't enjoying it. It wasn't that it was work per se, but I kind of had forgotten why I stitched. And listening to Jackie and listening to her talk, and just even the little intro that she does, it made me pause and think. And I thought, I do this, or I've done this for so many years, because it's calming and I enjoy it, and I'm not good with words, so it's hard for me to portray. But if everything in the world's falling apart, I can sit down with my needle and thread and ground myself. And I'd kind of gotten away from that. I had forgotten. And so I got to thinking about it, watching Jackie, listening to her talk, and I need to slow down and start. If I'm going to design something, I want it to have I want it to have meaning, like my Quiet Joys here. And I decided that I needed to start stitching other things too, which is hard because I'm a monogamous stitcher. And so I like to just do one thing at a time. And even with the whole designing thing, I've got one thing started, I've got another thing going on in my head, I've got things that I'm designing, or I'll have something stitched but not fully finished, but I know what I want to do with it and how I want to do it. I'm trying to figure out how to make all that work so I'm not stressed as much. But the other thing I decided to do was I want to start stitching. I want to have something else going that's not mine, that's just something that I want to stitch. And there's not, I mean, there's so many things out there. That's hard because there's so many things. But this one here, and I think I saw it, I think Jackie shared it, but I ran across this one and I thought, I want to stitch that. So I've started this one, and it's the Spring Sampler by Crossing Centuries. And it is an adaptation of an old sampler. It's not the exact reproduction, but it's part of it. And I don't know why, because it obviously isn't prim. I should pull those out. The colors, I think, are beautiful. They're very springy. Not necessarily, sorry. I'm a messy stitcher. I'm not that organized. Beautiful. I think the colors are so pretty. And I actually had all of them. And so I've gotten started. And I don't stitch on it every day. I stitch on it. I thought okay, Sunday evenings, this will be what I stitch on. I'm not good at that either. I am so amazed at the people, envious of the people that can do that, that can say, okay, on Sundays I'm stitching this, and on Tuesdays this, and on the 4th of every month I'm going to pull out my 4th of July project. When I tell myself that, it doesn't happen. So just whenever I feel like it, I pull it out. So here's my start. And I should have written down, I'll have to do that next time because I'm sure I'll have more to show. What I'm stitching it on. This is not the called for linen. It is the called for threads. And already I am not happy with, as you can see, there's white flowers on this over here, this motif, and they ghost. And so I'm going to try and come up with something different. That's why I haven't stitched. There's a matching one over here. I just haven't stitched it yet because I want to come up with, I don't know what I'm going to use. Maybe the blue, I don't know. I just want to get some more of the alphabet going so I can see what it's going to look like. And then I'm going to change that. I'm going to pull those threads out. But this is a 40 count, and I don't remember off the top of my head. It might be Shreky's tan, but I'm not positive. But anyway, I am enjoying having this, pulling something like this out now and then that is something totally different. And I just, it's a slow and calming stitch. I don't feel any pressure to get it finished. I don't know. I'm just enjoying it. And I have another one too that Jackie really inspired me on this one. And so if you ever go back, if you ever watch hers and go to her Instagram, she's got the most beautiful pictures and she stitches the most beautiful reproduction samplers. But she did the Bridget Power sampler, and that's what caught my eye. That's how I found her. And I'm going to tackle that one. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. It is not primitive. It does not, it's totally different, but I used to stitch this type of thing a lot. I hadn't stitched this type of thing for a long, long time. Even when I did stitch samplers though, they weren't necessarily, they were more back in the day. They had more of a primitive feel. But I'm enjoying this, and I'll show you my progress as I make it. But it's really made me stop and think about why we stitch. Why do we stitch? for me, it's not the finished product. It's not this. It's just not. It's the process. It's the process of, it's the sound of the needle or the thread pulling through. It's the feel. It's the feel of the thread. It's the feel of the linen. It's just something that I need to do every day. And I want to keep doing what I'm doing, but I also want to branch out and do something different now and then. So that's that. Go watch Jackie and go watch Sarah. They're two totally different. Very different, but I just enjoy both of them. Sarah is also a designer, so if you go to her Etsy shop to look for her booklet, her family adoption booklet, check out her other patterns too. She's got some really cute things in there. So what else was I going to talk about? Needle minders. I wanted to share some. This isn't all of them, but here's, I need to get something bigger that I can put them all on. But Abby's been busy, and these needle minders are so fun. And I wanted to share some of the fall. I didn't pull them all out, but we've got a squirrel for fall. Isn't he cute? And this one's my favorite right now, I think. The Indian corn. I love the Indian corn. And what else have we got that's fall? Oh, this one's cute. The truck with the pumpkin in it. And there's also a button that I have to get listed. I haven't done it yet, but it looks different than this. And the truck is white. I don't know if you can see that. See those or not? There you go. And it's adorable. I gotta get it listed. This one's not necessarily fall, but it's black kitty cat. Isn't that cute? What else have we got that's fall themed? The magnets are strong, let me tell you. These magnets and I go at it. We go round and round. There's the acorn, and there's a little acorn button too that's really cute. I should have brought it. I'll show more. I just didn't want to spend a whole lot of time and bore everybody to death. And Black Crow, I like him too. And there's one more here. I don't know. This one might be my favorite. I like the Indian corn. I love this guy too. Ah, he does not want to come off. And I just put these in because we had sold out, and she just gave me some more. So that's the stacked pumpkin. Isn't that one just adorable? That one might be my favorite. I don't know. I don't know. Which one's your favorite? Which one do you like the best? There it is. And you know, they're needle minders, but they're magnets. So you can put them on your fridge if you need something on your fridge. Anywhere you'd want to put a magnet, you can use one of these. You can put one of these. So there's, there they are again. So check out the needle minders and check out the buttons. Quite a few of them have matching buttons or coordinating buttons. And they're fun. There's going to be some really cute Christmas ones too. Oh, this guy, I should have shown him. I think he's adorable. He's my little scarecrow. Abby didn't really care for him, but I thought he was adorable. And he's in there too. So that's that. And then I wanted to ask, when I make the charts, for the longest time I was using their color, and I'm one from the olden days, so all my patterns were always black and white. The patterns that you bought were black and white, and so the symbols, the charts, everything was black and white. I've learned to love the color charts. So I've learned to love the color key, not just black and white, but color. They were always before symbols. So whether they had like a star and a heart and different symbols, that's what I started when I was designing. I just used symbols because that's what I was used to. But I also, here recently, instead of using symbols, I'm using the alphabet. So it's colored, and then instead of a symbol like a heart or a circle or whatever, it's a letter of the alphabet. You can also do numbers. I think I have done a few with numbers instead of the alphabet. But what do people prefer? I don't know. What would you prefer? Do you like symbols? Do you like the alphabet? Do you like numbers? I did have somebody a while back ask me if I could do the alphabet or numbers because, and I can't remember what it was that she was doing, but she was having a hard time. She was doing something, I don't know if she was using a label maker or what it was she was doing, and she couldn't do symbols, but she could do alphabet and numbers to make things easier. I don't know if she was putting them on floss drops and putting the symbol along with the number, which would make sense. So let me know what you prefer, if you prefer symbols, alphabet, or numbers, and I'll just see what people like. And let me know what your favorite needle minder is too. And then I will show you, I know the last time I was on here, I asked if you guys wanted to see what I was working on, and the majority of you were like, yes, we want to see what you're working on too, not just what you finished. So I got a lot of things going, and now I got to find time to sit down and stitch. But I started, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this yet. So I've done a leaf, and I've done an Indian corn, and I'm working on a pumpkin. And I originally had this all, there's two more that will go on here. I had them all in a row, so of course they were all closer together with a box around them, thinking a long pin keep, I think. I'm not even sure what I was thinking. I find that anymore. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I just do it, and then I decide how I'm gonna finish it or what I'm gonna do with it. But I could still do that. I'd have to restitch it, but then I got to thinking, well, maybe this would make cute. They're not very big, but bowl fillers, because I used to do the trios. I haven't done anything like that for quite a while. This would be 5. There would be 5 of them. So I think maybe that's what I'm going to be doing with these. Like I said, there's 2 more. So that's what the pumpkin's going to look like, kind of. And oak leaf. The oak leaf, because oak trees are my favorite tree. Indian corn. It's that time of the year. And then this one is going to be more fall themed, but then I've also got one that is that's going to be the similar, but it will be Thanksgiving themed, and they will all go together too. So I'm thinking I have a lot of like I don't know if you can see that. I have a lot of things like this big wooden trencher, or I've got a lot of big wooden bowls. And I thought, well, you know, if you could do 10 and they all kind of coordinated, put them in a bigger bowl, or you could split them up. I don't know. We'll see what I end up with, but that's what I'm working on. And like I said, I was going to keep this short and sweet, and I did. It's only been like a half an hour, which is a good thing, because I've got a lot to do. Now that I've got another body in the house, I'm trying to clear out the spare room that I had taken over with my cross-stitch stuff and rearranging, and I have gotten rid of lots and lots and lots of stuff, and I've got lots more to get rid of. So I've got a lot to do. I don't know if I will be back weekly, probably not weekly, maybe every other week, but I do want to get back into this because I enjoy it, and I don't want it to just be, and it's not what I ever wanted it to be, but it felt like that's kind of what it was starting to, where it was going was, here's my patterns are in my Etsy shop. That's not what I wanted this necessarily to be about. So, I don't know. I'm going to try and come up with some other things. I was also going to show, and I didn't pull. Let's see. I'll have to do that next time. Something that I stitched in the past a lot. Something, you know what? Bet I could find something. This drawer is full of stitches from the past. So here's one. I didn't even think about pulling this out, but here goes. I stitched this and I never did anything with it. I stitched it in 97. And the reason why I knew it was in there was because, now I can't remember. I'll have to put it down below. Sherry. Oh, she's got a FlossTube, and I've always enjoyed watching hers too. But she was stitching on this, and I thought, you know what? I stitched that. So I pulled it out a while back. So there you go. There's one of my old stitches. A lot different than what I do today. A lot of color changes in this one. A lot of fussy stitching, I guess is what you call it. Isn't that pretty? I should probably do something with that. There. And I think it was a Leisure Arts, possibly, from a magazine. So anyway, there you go. There's the one that one of my old stitches. And maybe next time I'll see what else is in there, pull something else out from in there. So thank you if you're watching again. And thank you for those that contacted me and asked me if I was okay, if I was going to be doing another FlossTube because you were missing them. I appreciate that so much. So thank you for that. If you're a new one here, please like and subscribe if you like what you see. I will be back, I promise, and I will not be, how many months was it? June, July, August. Has it been 4 months? 3, 4 months, 5? Too many months. We will be back, and Drew promised that he'll be on the next one, right? He's got his headphones in, he's not listening. Well, so like and subscribe, and
like, subscribe, turn on bell notifications so you get notified every time we upload.
Okay, turn on notifications so you get notified every time we upload. And follow me on Instagram, follow me on Facebook.
TikTok.
Oh, yeah, TikTok. He put me up on, Drew got me on TikTok, but I haven't even looked at that for...
You're doing pretty good.
Quite a while, so I should probably do that again too. I don't know what I'm doing on that. I'm too old for TikTok. But he set me up, so we'll do it. And there was something else I was going to say, and I don't remember now what it was. Oh, I'm thinking about possibly doing a group, making a group, an Asbury's Echo Stitches group on Facebook. I don't know if anybody'd be interested in that, but I would show more of what I'm working on. It'd be just a lot more than what I do on Instagram or Facebook, my business page. It would be a little more involved. Thought maybe we'd get to know each other better through that. I'd love to see what everybody else is stitching. Wouldn't want it to just be my stuff by any means. I just love to see what everybody's stitching. I might do like a freebie now and then for people in the group. I might do like a discount now and then for people that are in the group. That's something I've got in the back of my head that I'm going to be working on. So if you're interested in that, let me know. Man, I'm giving you all kinds of reasons to comment. So anyway, now I'm done. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.